Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today with Gorgias and Spentley. We are super excited to have you on, and we're going to be talking about how to drive repeat purchases, how to increase customer lifetime value, and all that juicy stuff that you can go and take back with you and put together for your e-commerce business. My name is Sid. I've got Roddy here from Spentley with me. What's up, Roddy?
Hello, hello. How are you doing, everyone? Thank you, Sid, for having us on today. We greatly appreciate it.
Good to have you. And we'll be talking shortly about, what Gorgias is, what Spentley does. But first, we want to hear from you. For those of you who are right now live with us, there is a chat bar on your right-hand side. Ricardo says hello. Please jump in there, say hello. Let us know if you can see and hear us. And then also let us know what you are working on. So what's your store? What do you do? And how can we help today in our presentation, right? So we can happily, maybe pull up some specific examples and other case studies to share with you if you have certain needs. So jump in there, say hi, let us know, and we will actually start our presentations in just a couple of minutes. It's almost 11 o'clock Pacific time. I'm in San Francisco. Roddy, I think you're in Toronto.
That is correct. Your friendly neighbors to the north.
Yes, I'm actually from Vancouver. Yeah, been to Toronto a few times. It's a good city in summer.
Absolutely, yes. We are, to drop a Game of Thrones reference, winter is coming. And I think it's just starting to snow out there right now. So
really?
Here comes the winter.
Just starting? Wow. My parents live in Winnipeg. I went back there a couple of months ago and it was already snowing. So.
Oh, yeah, Winnipeg gets hammered with the cold.
Crazy.
The wind just blows straight across the prairies there.
Yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, out here in San Francisco is really nice. Pretty warm compared to Canada. I am wearing a hoodie, I know. But so yeah, I guess we could get started in just a couple of minutes. Oh, Ricardo is actually from Toronto too. Says it's very chilly. We can get started in a couple of minutes. And then we can go into presentations. What we're going to be talking about today, as you may have seen when you signed up for this webinar, is how do we ensure that the people who are purchasing products on your website, especially during the holidays, come back and continue to purchase with you. Studies have shown that people who spend on a website or buy something on sale during the holidays tend not to come back and do a repurchase. And so the lifetime value of these customers is low. And at the same time, the cost of ads and marketing during the holidays tends to go up as well because everyone's trying to push for, all their promotions and stuff. So you're spending a lot more, but you're not getting as much value out of all these customers. What can you do about that to ensure that they come back even after December, maybe in Jan, Feb, March, get those repeat purchases coming in? Because, once you have a customer, it's a lot easier to get them to buy than to acquire a new customer. And so what we're going to be talking about is Roddy's going to talk about driving repeat purchases. And obviously, Robbie works at Spentley, which is a great way to do exactly that. He's going to share some strategies with you. I work at Gorgias. Gorgias is a customer support help desk. So I'm going to be talking about customer support as a way to also build loyalty in customers and drive repeat purchases. All right.
Absolutely. Yeah, couldn't agree with you more, Sid. I think let's take advantage of that spike in traffic, spike in sales over the holidays and do everything we can to get them back into your shop.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, if you're in the chat right now, and if you have any comments to make, if you agree or disagree with something that we say, please feel free to jump in the chat. Let us know. We are getting a few more people joining us right now as well. So for those of you joining us right now, we are just about to begin. Everything's going to be recorded. You'll get a recording at the end of this webinar. And I'm here with Roddy, and we're going to get started with our presentation on how you can build increase customer lifetime value and drive repeat purchases from all that traffic you're probably getting right now during the holidays. So let's begin. I will be going first, and I'll share some things around building customer loyalty and increasing conversions and lifetime value on your site using customer support. And then Roddy will follow up right after that with a way to drive repeat purchases. So pay attention, and we, at the end of this presentation, will be sharing with you some freebies. So you'll get some free stuff as well if you hang around till the end. For those of you just joining us, jump into the chat, say hi. And just feel this is conversational. Make let us know if you have anything to say or if you have any questions. Happy to answer them during this presentation as well.
Absolutely, we welcome questions.
All right. So, Roddy, if you want, we can get off the camera, and then we can just have our presentation slides up there if you want.
Absolutely.
Presentation. If you can hear my voice, let me know. What I'm going to be talking about is increasing lifetime value using customer support. So how is customer support not just like a cost center as most people think of it? It's actually more about generating revenue, generating repeat purchases. As I mentioned earlier, I work at Gorgias. Gorgias is the #1 help desk for Shopify. We collect all your customers support channels in one place, in one dashboard. So Facebook, Instagram, email, phone, all of that. And we also fully integrate with Shopify. So you can actually edit orders, refund, and do all that fancy stuff inside Gorgias itself without having to go into Shopify. And we do have a lot of features around automation. So you can automate responses. And this stuff it will come in handy when Roddy speaks about driving repeat purchases, and you can have like responses as well when customers want to come ask you questions. So the problem is that slow support is a negative experience for your customers, right? And if you don't answer their questions in time, if someone is shopping or browsing on your website and you don't respond to them, or if they purchase something and then they have a question or they have a complaint later and you don't respond to them, that's a negative experience, right? And that 51% of customers will never do business with your company again if they have a negative experience with you, right? So instantly losing half of your customers, and they will never come back and shop again, right? And really what we want is to get them to keep coming back and shopping. In fact, Americans tell an average of 9 people about good experiences and 16 people about bad experiences. So if they have a bad experience, they don't shop again, and they tell their friends not to shop in your store, right? So you're losing a lot of that customer loyalty and also additional potential sales. And finally, more than half of Americans have scrapped a planned purchase or transaction because of bad service. So when they are in the shopping cart, for instance, they've added a product and they have like a last minute question. If you don't answer them in time, or if you don't answer them according to their kind of expectations, then they will just scrap the purchase and they will go somewhere else. So how slow is slow support? Like, what are the benchmarks that you should be aiming for to provide really good, fast support to wow your customers and make them loyal? For email and online forms, people expect a response in the same day, and that means the same business day. So if they write in, at 2 p.m., they expect a response before the end of the day, before you go home. 2 hours for Facebook and Instagram comments, 2 minutes for phone calls. So they won't wait on average longer than 2 minutes on a phone call, and 20 seconds for chat and Messenger. So if you have a chat on the website, or if you do Facebook Messenger campaigns, and people write in, they expect a response in less than 20 seconds. If they do not get that, they're gone. You've lost them, right? So that's bad customer service. That's poor customer service, slow customer service. But on the flip side, good customer service, excellent customer service has an ROI, right? 7 out of 10 US consumers say they spend more money to do business with a company that delivers great service, right? That means they spend more on their first purchase, but also come back and repeat those purchases because they know that you care about them, right? Consumers are willing to spend 17% more to do business with companies that deliver excellent service. And when it comes to making a purchase, customer experience is more important than price, right? So again, this is just proof that when you provide really good customer service, your customers are going to come back and shop with you. Whereas if you don't, they will not shop with you again and tell their friends, right? So to sum it up, putting 2 and 2 together, if your customer service is slow, you're going to lose sales. They'll probably go to competitors and they'll tell their friends. But if your customer service is good, then your conversion rates go up, your lifetime value goes up, right? So what we want to do is we want to solve for fast response time. Now, I'd love to know if you saw some of these numbers. Let me know in the chat what your numbers are if you want to share that stuff. And what do you think of these expected response times that I shared with you over here? But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go into a few tips and strategies to increase your response times, right? So tip number one, what gets measured gets managed. So you want to start tracking your response times if you haven't already, right? If you're not tracking those response times, let me know. What we have here is a screenshot from inside Gorgias, where you have the analytics for your first response time, resolution time, and so on. And so what you want to do is you want to see how this is trending across days, across the weeks, and you can set a goal for your team to say, hey, we want to hit maybe 10-minute first response time. Right now we're at 14 minutes, but we have decreased it by 26% over the last week. And let's keep moving towards that goal, right? So it motivates your team. It helps you set a direction for them. It helps you set a goal, and it pushes you towards that goal to actually decrease your response times. Right now, first response time and resolution time are two separate things. Resolution time is how long it takes for you to actually resolve a ticket. But the first response time matters a lot because customers just want to know that you've actually seen their ticket, right? Like that you acknowledge that, even a simple acknowledgement that you've got the ticket and that you're going to look into it helps with a customer loyalty. The second thing is to set up live chat on your site. I know I said the expectations are 20 seconds, but there are ways to actually respond really quickly on live chat, even if you don't have the stuff. I'll share with you a couple of ideas. But basically, customer satisfaction ratings for live chat are a lot higher than other support channels because of speed and conversational nature. And it is the preferred support channel for millennials, which you're probably serving a lot of as well on your website, right? So setting up live chat allows you to not only provide really fast support to existing customers, but also to help potential customers. So people who are just browsing, have never purchased. With the live chat, you can answer their questions, figure out what it is that's holding them back from making a purchase, and close the sale right there. So here's an example of a store that does just that. It's called Campus Protein. They are in a very, very competitive industry, selling protein and supplements. And basically the reason why they do so well against some of the bigger competitors out there, and you probably have noticed this as well. You go to a protein store on the street, there's so many around you near your gyms, and everyone is trying to undercut the other and offer lower prices, right? So every protein store out there is going, we will sell you at 5% less than the competitor. Campus Protein doesn't need to do that. They have loyal customers who will always keep coming back to them and purchasing more. And the reason is because of the live chat. What they have here is they have very personalized support for each of the customers, right? So they have all the data for every customer who's purchased with them in the past, and they know exactly what kind of proteins and supplements this customer should get, right, for their fitness program. So that live chat over there helps them communicate with the customers in a really personalized, instantaneous manner, and guides them into what kind of products they should be getting and purchasing. And that's why these people who shop at Campus Protein love Campus Protein. They will always keep coming back and purchasing from them, even if other protein stores and supplement stores have dirt cheap prices just down the street. The next tip is to collect conversations into one view. This is a way to speed up your responses and to manage them better, especially if you have customers contacting you on multiple channels like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, phone, email, chat. All of those channels, you don't want to have someone having to check each and every one of them. It means that they're wasting a lot of time. Instead, collecting it all into one view, like in this, in the screenshot over here, allows you to manage that a lot better. So what you see over here on the left-hand side, you see all the chats at the top, which are kind of the ones that you need to respond to fastest. And then you see views, which are filters for like email, Facebook chat, and so on. And then on the right-hand side, you kind of see everything that's coming in. So it allows you to collect all of these conversations into one place and manage them easily amongst your support team members. Here's another case study by 2Exist. They sell premium underwear 2Exist has 4 Shopify stores. So they have like multiple storefronts. And then within each Shopify store, they have multiple support channels, which is a lot to manage if you don't have it all in one place. So basically they use Gorgias, collected all the support tickets from every store and every channel into one place. And that resulted in a 90% reduction in first response time. Made it a lot simpler and easier for them to manage all these conversations and tickets. Tip number 4 is to use variables and responses. This is a really cool one because you're probably getting a lot of tickets right now as well. Maybe people are shopping for the holiday season, Christmas, gifts and stuff, and they want to know where their order is. Maybe they place an order and it hasn't arrived yet. And so using variables in your responses allows you to respond a lot faster. Instead of having to look up this person who's written in the Shopify backend, find out their order details, copy and paste that into your support help desk response, you can use Shopify variables that automatically pull that information in and send it to the customer in the email. So that means your response time can go from maybe it takes a few minutes to down to a few seconds to respond to this customer. Right. So that's a really cool way of quickly responding to customers. And another thing that's related to that is to use macros, which are kind of like automations. So again, the most popular holiday support question. And if you have like different support questions coming in, let me know. But from our studies, we've seen that what is the status of my order and variations are the most popular questions that come in during the holidays. And so having automated responses for that, and in Gorgias, you can actually create a response that detects the text in the email. So if it says status of my order or order status or something like that, it will detect that. It will formulate a response with all the variables, as I mentioned previously, and it will send that response to the customer. So they get the order status immediately, and you don't have to do all the digging and stuff. So, if you're using variables, macros, or automations, let me know. Or if you're not, let me know as well, and I can sort of explain more about that. And finally, the last tip. Oh, quick case study first. Love Your Melon, really cool store. They are one of these, the new kind of stores where they have a social impact as well. And so they sell beanies, but every beanie they sell, they also give a free one to someone who's fighting cancer. And so 25% of the tickets are handled with automation. The average first response time is now down to just a couple of seconds from 10 minutes. So that's a massive reduction thanks to all the automation they've set up. And of course, the simple tickets, you can automate the responses, but you don't want to automate everything, right? You're still like, you want to create that human connection, like I said, with the campus protein. So more complex tickets are handled by humans, but they're handled in mere minutes because all the cool, the variables and other things that they use in Gorgias specifically. So final one is to use customer data, right? Your customers, they're shopping on your store. They've probably made a few purchases in the past. Pulling all that data into your help desk will allow you to respond to them with as much information as you can have, so that you don't have to keep asking them questions that you should already know the answer to. So for example, this person here, we have the email, phone number, the number of orders they've made in the past, how much money they've spent on a store. So we don't need to keep asking this person, hey, when did you make the order? What was the order number? All of that stuff. It's all there at our fingertips. We have the answers and we can provide a solution to this person instantly. So that is it from me. Those are my 6 tips. Just to quickly recap. Tip 1, track everything. Tip 2, use live chat. Tip 3, collect all your conversations into one view so it's easy to manage. Tip 4, use variables. And tip 5, use automations as well as the variables to respond to kind of frequently asked tickets. And finally, the last one, use all the customer data that you have so that your responses can be much more robust. And that is all I have from my end. Roddy will be coming up right now. But if you have any questions, feel free to jump in the chat. Let me know. As I mentioned, we do have a special offer, a free month on Gorgias if you want to try it out, if you liked some of the screenshots that you saw and you want to try out some of the strategies, in the chat, I'm sharing a resource with you. But that is it from me. Roddy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sid. That's great. I can see how that would make a lot of people's lives really, really easy. So let me just pull up my presentation here. Great. Oh, we're at the end of it. Perfect. So cool. Thanks for that, Sid. So, as most of you probably know by now, my name is Roddy. I work over here at Spently. And basically, I'm here to help you guys maximize customer lifetime value. And today, I'm just going to quickly run through what are your transactional emails or store notifications, and how we can use your follow-up emails to increase that customer lifetime value. So, transactional emails. Basically what these guys are, they're called transactional emails, store notifications, store emails, few different names, but these are emails that are automatically sent based on a shopper's interaction with Shopify. So whether that's completing an order or a shipping notification, I'll run through all of them in a sec. But these emails have ridiculous open rates. I'll jump into that in a bit, but for a lot of merchants I speak to, this is an unknown sales channel, or like a hidden sort of funnel that you can drive repeat purchases with. So there are 7 order notifications, 4 shipping notifications, and 4 customer-facing notifications. The big one that everybody knows is obviously the order confirmation, and we see multiple sets of eyes on these, and people open these all the time. It's a receipt. They're going to save it for years to come. It's going to be squirreled away in their inbox and stay there forever. The other one that I'm willing to bet most of you are familiar with is the abandoned checkout. The other really big one is that POS receipt. If you run a brick and mortar location, or you're doing a pop-up sale or store for the holidays, or maybe a trade show or fair or something, let's take that foot traffic that you've got and loop it back into your site to drive repeat purchases. Shipping notifications, obviously these ones are going to be opened all the time because people want to know when they're getting their product. And by including some marketing stuff in there, we can make sure that they maybe see another product that they want to buy. And then the surprise winners out of all of these are the customer notifications, the account invite, account welcome, password reset. Account welcome, we actually see really good returns off of. If a shopper has gone to the length to pop their details into your Shopify store there to make shipping easier, chances are they want to buy something. So let's maybe show them some products in there. So all of these emails are being sent out right now on your behalf by Shopify. So let's make sure that we're making the most of them. And before I sort of continue on, I'm going to ask a bit of a rhetorical question here. How many of you have looked at the 7 order notifications for shipping, for customer ones, and actually done anything with them? And I kind of suspect that a bunch of you are probably scratching your head right now because you probably haven't done that, and you're in the same boat as many of the merchants that I speak to on a day-to-day basis. So this is an overlooked and underused sales channel.
Yeah, it's definitely like a hugely untapped channel over there. Like I think most people don't even realize that some of those emails are going out. But yeah, like if you have made a purchase yourself as a consumer, those emails hit your inbox and you are very, very likely to open those.
Exactly. And that cues this one up very nicely for me, Sid. Thank you. Experian was kind enough to do a bit of research for us. And I mentioned the ridiculous open rates that we see. So like 114% open rate. That's insane. Nobody sees that in the email marketing world because everybody focuses on newsletters, and we generally see a 12.5% open rate. Ricardo, I saw your question there. Stay tuned, and I will show you how you can use all of these emails. In terms of your click rates, on your order confirmation, we tend to see 14.4% click rates. Again, an insanely high number. whereas on your newsletters, you're generally only going to see 3%. So to just summarize the Experian report for you so you don't have to read through the whole thing, that's 10 times the open rate, 5 times the click rate, 6 times more return on investment.
That's just insane.
It's wild. A lot of the times when I talk to merchants and they see their total open rate of like 270%, they ask me like, how is this even possible? Because your shopper is going to look at it once to make sure they use the right credit card. Look at it again to show their partner what they just purchased. Maybe check it again because they're not sure if they got their address correct. Yeah. And so the Shopify default template here, yes, it does the trick. It gives you all the pertinent information. But you know, the merchants that I speak to, you've spent, you know, hours, days, months, weeks, years obsessing over your website to make sure that it has that perfect look and feel, to get your brand exactly right, to get your voice exactly right. And then you send them out this default template that doesn't match your anything to do with your brand. And it's lacking some really important features in there, and most importantly of those being the marketing components. So what is the secret tool to answer Ricardo's question and how we can take these most opened emails in this hidden channel? Well, with Spently, what we can do is we can plug in marketing components in there. Let's put some product recommendations. So Spently has a collection that we create for you, and we're going to populate that with your most popular products. Really effective and low maintenance way to show them what's selling. You can also do a featured collection or a featured product, and those are both really great ways to either push a new line that you've just released or maybe highlight some old stock that you want to push out the door. Let's make sure that we're putting unique discount codes in there. And when I say unique discount codes, what Spently does is we do this for you. So you don't have to manually create these discount codes. Let's and what we do is we pop the shopper's first name in there. So it'd say like, you know, Sid ABC 123. And as vain as it sounds, as soon as we started popping the shopper's first name in there, we saw engagement go through the roof. Because at the end of the day, everybody likes the sound of their own name.
Yeah, and it also builds that curiosity. Oh, what they have specifically for me, right?
Exactly. Let's put some referrals in there. The give 10, get 10. It's a great way to reward a loyal customer, but then also to, spread the love a little bit, get one of their friends to purchase. We can also pop social links in there. So you can loop into your affiliate marketing program, your Instagram influencers, or whatever it may be. And then if they go and respond through those social links, the guys over at Gorgias have you covered, and it'll come right back into an easy-to-use system. The other one that I really like doing is popping a navigation bar in there, and it just makes these emails so easily shopped and makes for a really nice experience. So the way we do all of this is we have spent a lot of time building out our builder. What you're going to do is basically choose a template that matches your site, matches the look and feel, match the colors. You can see our friends over at Stash T, they've put in a whole bunch of copy in there to really match their brand's voice and pique people's interest about their order confirmation that's coming through. Then we do still have the standard information in there in terms of what you bought, the price, shipping information, all of that. But then at the bottom again, you can see we've got some recommended products. So if you buy that delicious Earl Grey tea or whatever it is, there's a really nice teapot to make it in as well, and that might prompt that next purchase. And the way we do this is with drag and drop components, and you just pull it in. Super easy to do, and they're gonna drive revenue for you. Then finally, Sid, I think you mentioned in your little presentation there, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And with Spently, we allow you to do both. Right now, in Shopify, this is a bit of a blind spot. You have no idea how these emails are performing. You have no idea what your open rate is. So we give you all of that data. We're going to tell you how many are sent. We're going to tell you your unique open rate, your total open rate, and your click rate. And then any purchases that come off the back of these store notifications that you're currently sending right now, we're going to put those at the bottom there so you can track all those purchases. We like to be as transparent as possible. We have a 7-day attribution window. Industry standard for email marketing companies is 21 days, which in my humble opinion is a little bit long, but we keep it a very narrow window. Then, once you've maximized this untapped sort of source for revenue, let's take it one step further. How can you further foster that customer retention by using automated follow-up sequences? And bring you one step closer to turning your seasonal shoppers into those year-round customers. Because let's be honest, you're going to have a spike in traffic for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and the last thing you want to do is have that one-stop shop. Let's make sure that we get them back into your store and maybe make that January e-commerce hangover a little bit less. The way that we do that is through our follow-up emails. We have 11 automated follow-up emails that we've created. You can create your own as well by creating a custom one. Some of the ones that our merchants really love and that you can create is that abandoned checkout series. So Shopify sends out one automatically through your store notifications. We recommend sending out 2 additional ones at, let's say, 3 days and 7 days. And with the Spently discount, what we can do is on that 7-day email, let's put a discount code on there that expires in 24 hours. Create a bit of urgency. We can also put a rule on that discount, so it's only valid for orders over $50 or whatever you want. Customer win-back series are also a great way to drive those repeat purchases and get people straight back into your shop. So what I always like to do is send out an email at 60 days, 120 days, 240 days, 360, with increasing discounts throughout them. And, pop some funny messaging in there that says, we really miss you. We want you back in your shop. Don't you wish that you had another one of those t-shirts or whatever it may be? The other 2 that are great are the purchase from collection and specific product purchased. And so what we can do is we can send a specific email based on what your shopper has bought. And this is an incredibly effective targeted way to, again, get them to return. The guys over at Stash T have done an excellent job of this. And so you're able to add in a free sample when you purchase something, which is, just a nice little add-on. But what they did is they did a bit of an order gap analysis and saw that, okay, if the free sample, if they, get it shipped on day 6 or whatever it is, it's in their house on day 8, day 15, they've probably enjoyed that cup of tea. Let's send them a follow-up replenishment email saying, hey, how did you like that Earl Grey? I bet you thought it was delicious and your cup is probably empty. Here's 10% off your next order to repurchase. And, they did this so incredibly well that they, just from their follow-up emails, they saw a 5% increase in sales. From their store notifications as well, which I was talking about before, they saw another 5% increase in sales. So just from bolting on Spently, they saw 10%, which is a pretty decent increase in sales.
That's really smart. I like the fact that they time it according to when you've probably received and then actually consume the product, and that's like a really great way to bring back someone's attention to your store.
Exactly. I've seen a lot of our merchants have done this very effectively. Another merchant who sells candles, they figured out if you burn that candle an hour a night, every other night, it'll probably last you like 55 days is the number they came up with.
Oh, wow.
And then so at 50 days, they send a replenishment email. And it just sort of keeps those customers popping back into your shop and increase that lifetime value. In the world of e-commerce, it's around 40 to 50% of your business is generally repeat customers. So if you give them that customer service they want through Gorgias and then tag Spently on there as well, you've just got a great winning combination. Now, a bunch of you are probably saying, this looks great, but Black Friday, Cyber Monday, they're behind us. I haven't installed Spently. But no need to worry. We have the ability to sync past purchases. So if you were to install today, get everything set up, and then sync all those past purchases, anybody who purchased 60 days ago, 120, 240, 360 for your win-back series, or 55 days for that candle replenishment email, they will start getting those emails immediately. So we're able to take everything that's happened retroactively and still bring it back in. And again, let's make that January e-commerce hangover a little bit better to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, in exactly the same way we do with the store notifications, let's get granular. Let's give you some data around this. Let's make sure that you know what your open rate is on these guys, what your click rate is, what your unique rate is. And then again, if we click onto the actual sequence there, then you can drill down into it and see the email addresses of people who ordered from you. You can see who's unsubscribed. You can see all that stuff for these follow-up emails. So I kind of feel like this slide is a little bit redundant at this point, because you should probably know why you should choose Spently at this point. But to just hammer home the point a little bit more, we power about 5,000 Shopify stores. In the last 6 months, we drove $100 million in repeat purchases. We actually just ran the report a little bit earlier this week, and through the Black Friday to Cyber Monday weekend, we drove $1 million in repeat sales. Our average merchant sees a 15% increase in sales. And we've got those thousands of merchants who all tell us that it's working, and have confirmed that it really is the easiest way for you to drive repeat purchases and get those shoppers back into your store. So finally, thank you for listening to me ramble on. If you have any questions or anything that you didn't get to ask here, you can always shoot me an email, roddy@spentleyhq, as in headquarters.com. Hit up our website, spently.com, and we've got the bit.ly link there that Sid has just shared, where we can give you this for 30 days at no charge. And if it doesn't make you any money, which we will, you are under no obligation to stay. And finally, thanks so much for having me on, Sid. I really appreciate it.
Nice. Yeah, thanks a lot for that. That was I really like some of these ideas where you use these low-hanging fruits to continuously market to your existing customers. I think a lot of people they follow the trends of, oh, let's just keep doing Facebook ads, and as it gets more expensive, it's just harder to sustain, right? And you're always trying to acquire new customers with rising ad costs. But some of these cooler sort of strategies where other people aren't really doing it and it's not crowded, that's where you can really win. So that was some really good stuff. Guys, if you like that, if you found that interesting or helpful, if you have any questions, jump into the chat, let us know. Let us know what you thought, or just thank Roddy for his time and for some of the strategies. And of course, you have those 2 free trials over there on Gorgias and Spently. You can use that, and you can also get in touch with us by emailing us. Sal can drop his email in there. I'll drop mine too. And if you need anything, even after today's presentation, just reach out to us.
Absolutely, yeah. Sid, I couldn't agree with you more in terms of, so many merchants I talk with are so concerned with filling up the top of the funnel that they forget about the people who have already expressed interest in their product. Don't get me wrong, AdWords, SEO, Facebook ads are all pivotal parts to your business, but it's just sort of one cog in the wheel. And let's make sure that the one cog that's easiest to find, and as you called it, the low-hanging fruit, is right there, so might as well grab it.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, Roddy, and thank you everyone for joining us today. Let us know if you have any questions. We're happy to hang out for a bit more, but if not, I'll send you a recording, and we'll hopefully see you later as well.
Agreed. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and again, Sid, thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Have a really good day.
Take care.
Bye-bye.